This is Jonathan Agger, fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by former IBF middleweight champion of the world, Darren Barker. We're here in Nottingham, not Las Vegas, unfortunately, but incredible. It's still a really good card on Saturday. But yeah, bit guy, you're not in Vegas?
A little bit. Nah, not at all. Yeah, Vegas, a fun city, and it would be good to keep an eye out and watch the potential next ruler of the 168 division, Diego Pacheco, in action. But I'm a big fan of Dalton Smith, and I would hate to miss one of his. So yeah, buzzing to be here.
So many big fights for Dalton if he wins on Saturday night. Speaking to Frank Smith earlier, and you know, it looks like he might get a world title shot. Jack Catchell might get a world title shot, and then you've got a massive unification. Is that how you're sort of seeing it?
Yeah, I think so. I think once Dalton, I don't want to jinx it, but once he takes care of business Saturday and he gets the win, that, let's be honest, I think many are predicting he will do. I think he goes into this fight a big favourite. So if that all goes to plan and he wins the fight, I think whether you have a fight before you have the big fight is a question that the team and Dalton and Frank and Eddie need to come up with. But once that's all clear and they're all on the same page, I would sling him in with anyone. I think it's that moment then, because you've cleaned up domestically, you've won the English, the British, the Commonwealth, the European, 17-0. Go for it. Like I say, whether you decide to have that other fight in between, you know, do you fight sort of a gatekeeper or some sort of an eliminator? I don't know, but I think Dalton's got the profile, the fan base in Sheffield to warrant him fighting for a world title now, and obviously the rankings, etc. So yeah, he's there now. He's ready to be unleashed. All going well Saturday.
What do you know about his opponent? I'm not sure how to pronounce his name.
Ouizza.
Yeah, what do you know?
He's a good fighter. He's on a good run of form. His last 3 fights, he went points his last, I think it was points, but the two guys that he beat before his last fight were both unbeaten fighters. So confidence will be high. He'll build off of that. He'll take a lot of confidence away from that. He's obviously, we've seen, not afraid to travel, doesn't look overawed whatsoever, and stylistically he's physically strong. He likes to impose himself into a fight. He likes to hold the centre of the ring, likes to bring the pace and control the tempo of a contest, but he's in there with somebody he's never been in with before, talent-wise. Dalton Smith, levels above Ouizza. But it's a funny old game, you know. As much as this is a huge opportunity for Dalton Smith to clear up domestically, this is a massive opportunity for Ouizza to win the European title and make a real case for himself to push on and challenge for world honours. So yeah, you can never overlook these kind of fights. I remember, I know you're struggling with your arm a little bit. Do you want me to hold it? That might be. I'll hold it. I remember when I fought for the European against a tough French Algerian, Asif Belchikam, first because I won the European twice. And I remember, I'll be deadly honest about it, it was when I first started struggling with my hip injuries, and I remember looking at the record of Belchikam and I thought, I think he'd lost 116, something like that. You know, a similar sort of record to Ouizza, maybe slightly worse. And I thought, I'm going to wallop this geezer. And I took my foot off the gas a little bit, and that was even with the European title on the line. I was just a little complacent, I think, but I gained a lot of experience from it. But where I'm going with it is, Dalton Smith can't afford to do that. He needs to concentrate on himself. Just, you know, treat this as your world title. And we heard that today at the press conference. He is going to treat this as if it is a world title, because it's an important moment in his career, so he can push on to those big world title fights.
Thank you very much. And on the undercard, what are you most looking forward to? Obviously, world title fight with Ellie Scotney, who's back in action. And I think one you're probably looking forward to is that Conor Walker-Harry Scarf fight.
Yeah, I really like the Ellie Scotney fight versus Motu, who's a 20-0 powerhouse from New Zealand, who is desperate to fulfill a dream. Look, she's won the IBO, but look, she wants to challenge for the proper world titles, and that's exactly what Ellie Scotney holds. And you just got to look at it stylistically. It's a cracking fight. It really is. It's a brilliant fight. So that one, I think, is one that I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, but the Conor Walker Harry Scarf fight, contrasting styles. There's Needle there. They fought in the amateurs. Scarf has a win over Walker in the amateurs. Walker saying that Scarf's best shot is his elbows. There's Needle. They don't like each other. I like the way that it's come at, I'll probably say it's come at the correct time for Walker. I said it at the press conference today. He's suffered the good, the bad, the ugly. He's won, he's lost. He's been in tough, grueling fights. The one, obviously, with Crocker. But now I think he feels he's in a position to be, or in the best position to be ready to be fighting for the British and Commonwealth titles. With Harry Scarf, he takes a lot of confidence in this, that he fought and beat S.O. Osserman, who, a little like Conor Walker, physically strong, very busy, high work rate, and I think he'll be looking to put in a similar performance to that. But yeah, what I like about this is the contrast in styles, and who can remain disciplined, who can get their game plan into the fight. Looks like they've got the best chance of winning this, and I like the undercard fights as well. But beneath that, before the bell, it's a shame to lose Nico Livaz, Hamza Udin. What a talent. What a special talent. One of the best debuts that I've ever commentated on. It was ridiculous. Ibrahim Suleiman, incredible. Trey Dubry, an exciting cruiserweight. There's a lot to like about this show. It's an important show for these individuals on the card, because it's their opportunity to showcase their skills and push on to what Dalton Smith's aiming to push on towards, world title shots.
Just away from this, obviously we got the announcement that Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn is signed. Have you spoken to Conor about the fight since? And you know, if you have, how is he feeling? What's his thoughts, and what are your thoughts?
Well, first off, I was lucky enough to watch and be a fan of their dads when they box, so I'm aware of the rivalry from their fathers, and it's obviously translated now into the sons. The hatred for one another is that somewhat of the fathers. They just never got on, and it's the same with Conor and Chris. They just don't get on. They really don't like each other, and I tell you what, there's a lot of pressure on these fighters, because neither will want to lose to one another. You know, it would really be a tough one to swallow if they lost to one another. It's unthinkable for the lads. So with the pressure and what pride is at stake, and when you look at this stylistically and the crowd, wherever this is being held, we obviously know it's a stadium, but wherever it's going to be, it's just going to tick all the boxes. It's going to tick all the boxes. And I said this before, and I say this before a lot of big fights. Can you imagine the energy before the first bell? The crowd's going to be going nuts. They're going to be sort of in the starting blocks, ready to just run at their opponent. And yeah, I spoke to Conor. Conor's excited. This is the fight he wants. This is the fight that is going to make him train scared. He believes in himself. I think if you was to ask the bookies now who goes into this fight favourite, I think it would be Chris Eubank, because he's fighting at his natural weight. Yes, there's a rehydration clause, but I was asked this question earlier. I don't really know the answer to will it make a difference, because I don't know what he goes up to. I've never sort of studied the weights of Chris Eubank Jr, so I don't know. I gave an example earlier. When I fought for the world title, it was the IBF, so you have to weigh in the next morning, and I think it's £10 is the limit. And I ate and drank anything I wanted, and I weighed £7, so it didn't really make any difference to me. So I don't know if that will make a difference, but yeah, I really look forward to it. A big historic event awaits.
Lastly, Darren, obviously Tyson Fury retiring. We know that. That's all we know for now. But Turki Al-Sheikh said, look, maybe I'll make Joshua against Deontay Wilder. Does that get you excited again, seeing, I guess, the jeopardy in that fight? Both men obviously not what they were, but still two big punches. Would you want to see that?
What I'd like to see, and I know there's already talk of Wilder fighting before that potential fight, and that's important for me, because if Wilder doesn't go out and tries to demolish his opponent, whoever that may be, then I don't want to see the fight, because the way Wilder fought against Parker was sad to see. Parker grabbed that fight by the scruff of the neck, but Wilder didn't show us anything. He didn't show us any glimpses of the old Wilder, and it was just, I don't want to see that. I absolutely do not want to see that if he's not going to go for it. Having said that, on the flip side, if he does throw caution to the wind, if that's the saying, and just lets leather fly, and he doesn't have to look like the prime Deontay Wilder, but at least show intent and let bombs fly, then I'm all for it. Then I'm all for it. Because if that's the Wilder that's going to approach the Anthony Joshua fight, we know Anthony Joshua approached the fight with real aggression and anger. Yeah, again, similar to the Eubank Benn. Imagine the build-up. Imagine the energy before that first bell. Way too late, but I'm there for it.
Last one, does Fury stay retired?
Recent form would say no. I still think the lure of an Anthony Joshua fight is far too great to seriously call yourself retired. I would honestly say if it wasn't for the previous retirements, was it 5 or 6 previous to this, I would say Tyson Fury, fair play. You have left your mark on British boxing. You was one hell of a fighter, one hell of a personality. Congratulations in whatever you do in the future. But the fact that he has retired so many times and then secures a big fight, you would think and assume this is a marketing tool.
We'll wait and see. Darren, appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
We look forward to hearing you and watching you on DAZN this Saturday. And Cheers, all the best.